Hello, classmate. I am the teacher of the introductory course of brush calligraphy.
Jiang Su. Welcome to the 4th lecture on learning the Na.
In the 2nd lecture, I mentioned Wei Shuo, a female calligrapher, was the Enlightenment teacher of Wang Shizi. She wrote a book on the strokes of writing by Zan Tu. When Wang Shizi grew up,
he wrote Ti Wei Fu Ren by Sonnen Tu.
It says that every stroke 3 times to turn,
which means that every time you write a Na stroke, the direction of the brush changes 3 times.
The idiom we often say, twists and turns, comes from this place. Nowadays, 1 bend and 3 turns is used to describe that. Many unexpected changes. This stroke goes through 3 changes during the writing process. It shows the difficulty of this stroke
is much more difficult than the previous 3. Next, let's start to learn the 3 ways to write the Ne: normal, flat, and reverse.
The first is the normal Na.
The positive Na has 3 bends. Press lightly at the beginning to determine the first bend. First, go a little bit horizontally, then go diagonally. Then the stroke is heavier here. Then stop the pen tip here. Adjust the direction. Pull it.
Right.
And end the stroke. Write it again.
The Na must be written in one go without pauses.
Without any pauses in between. So pay attention to the wave. We can make it a little flatter like this. Look at it. Let's take a look at it. Does it look like a wave? Such a wave. There is this section. This is a part. The second section is from here.
The third one from here to here.
So we call it a wave with 3 twists. There are 3 sections in such a waveform. The directions of these 3 parts are different, so we call it a wave with 3 twists and turns. When writing, pay attention to the changes in the direction and the weight of the stroke. The start is light. Okay? When the first stroke goes down and diagonally, the stroke starts to get heavier. When it reaches the bottom, it forms a knot. At this time, the stroke is the heaviest. Then use the contraction of the pen tip. Naturally find a rightward direction to close. The foot of the Na will appear.
The direction of the Na should be as flat as possible.
Don't let it tilt upward. Write smoothly when writing.
The direction of the Na,
the stroke direction of this section, is basically 45 degrees downwards. Practice along the diagonal lines of the rice grid will be better. Let me give you an example. Start writing. Start here and connect to the horizontal diagonal along the diagonal. And then lift the pen up. We should write a Na stroke. The upper line should be smooth and natural. The second stroke is flat. The method of using the pen in a flat manner is similar to that in a positive manner. Just in the process of writing, direction is slightly different. The strokes are flatter, hence the name flat waves. The overall fluctuation is relatively small. Go down.
Okay.
Storage angle. Then, because it is angled in the middle of the stroke, not as oblique as positive, so at the end of the day, the angle can be tucked up a little bit. Lift it up, down, till. Stop the stroke and put it away slowly. When we write positive and flat, you can imagine walking down the hill,
Or the feeling of sliding down a slide.
slide down from the top and the strokes increase. Okay, hold on. Last. Go out flat. Be careful not to move too fast when closing the pen. Strength must be delivered in place. That. The form of reverse na
Is a bit like a long right dot.
Let's talk about the right dot first. You can recall how to write a right point. Press it down and pull down. This is a right dot. Now, we write a reverse, not. Press it gently. Drag the stroke and lengthen it. Then we pull it down again. In fact, it is equivalent to stretching the middle. The body in this section, when we are writing, we should make these two lines natural and cannot be curved. So in the process of writing, we should maintain a stable force change. Watch it again. Okay, stop here. The way to finish is the same as a diagonal dot. Pay attention to the length. We can't make the reverse. Stroke to short. Otherwise it will be no different from a dot. Each of our horizontal strokes is an extended stroke, so we should pay attention to writing longer strokes. Another thing is its direction. The direction can't be too straight. For example, like this one going down, we have never seen such a reverse stroke. Its direction is relatively open. We can imagine the human hand, like the feeling of spreading out our arms. Spread your arms outwards. Close the foot. Then the foot of the na is closed in a dot-like manner. This is the reverse.
Next, I will read from the Liquan inscription of the Jucheng Palace. Choose a few examples to demonstrate the way that is written.
Herringbone. The herringbone should start to the left. Let the word swing to the center line. The center of gravity should be in the center. Skim short. Sausage. Well, it's because of this structure. So we're going to start writing a little bit to the left.
Inhibition.
Note that the handover position of the herringbone, skim, and restrain is not in the middle. Up on the center, by the head. Next word. Cultural. Literature. Outlet. Tool and point should be close to horizontal and strabismus.
Pay attention to the position of this one.
The starting position of the skimming should be based on the middle.
Skimming.
Skew. Don't write too long. It lines up almost vertically with the horizontal one on the left. The left side of the horizontal should be aligned up and down. This is a standard positive. It's got a head, it's got a body, it's got a tail. The word is flat. The word good is a more difficult word to write. Although there are few strokes, special attention should be paid to its structure. Arrangement should be accurate. The first 3 strokes, the strokes are very close together, but they are not connected to each other. The strokes are broken, but the direction of the strokes, it all matters. Pay attention when writing. Lifting and skimming in 2 directions. They communicate very closely with each other, the direction of our skimming must be skimming back. Can't skim down. Okay, finally take your foot and stick it out a little to the left. Flat, downhill. Close the pen and lift the pen. This stroke of the word is tight. This blank is relatively large. Write it again. To put this word, close places and clear places should be expressed clearly. This word will look good. Okay, the next antanano. To take, the structure on the side of the ear is more characteristic. The position of the first horizontal.
There is a little offset from the two vertical positions below.
The hook is very small. Erketting Biling. Close the pen as a dot. The direction should be relatively open, so you can't point down. All right.